2025. Hi guys, I'm glad to see you all here, and we're talking about main political events of this day. So like my stream, subscribe my channel, and ask your question in the chat, and I'm gonna respond. Let's talk. Let's talk. It's late night here in Los Angeles. It's almost 1 of morning, and we are talking about results of this day. And this day was quiet. It's end of August and it's vacation time in America. So after all summits, nothing really happening, but still main topics on mainstream media. Now we all talking about this redistricting, what happened in Texas yesterday and day before yesterday, and today Governor Newsom signs California redistricting measures in response to Texas bill. So California started the process almost the same how Texas does, and this is going to be the main political trend in our politics here in the United States for next year and couple months before next midterm election in the House. So and all media talking about this today. California Democrats approve Newsom's redistricting plan after Texas House passes this map, and Trump was talking about this, and everyone talking about this. And this is, actually nothing else discussed in media. So let's talk about what's happening on Ukrainian track. And here, President Trump posted his message on his social media. He always talk the most. He is the main newsmaker in the United States, and it's really, interesting post because it contains a lot of sense, and this post hints something interesting. So let me read it and let's discuss what President Trump means. So, quote, "It is very hard, if not impossible, to win a war without attacking an invader's country. It's like a great team in sports that has a fantastic defense, but it's not allowed to play offense." So yes, he built great analogies. There is no chance of winning. Yes, he is right. If you can't offense, you can't win. If you boxing and you closing your face and not attacking, you're not gonna win. Yeah, President Trump is absolutely right. So there is no chance of winning, and it's like that with Ukraine and Russia. So he's saying yes, this is exactly what happened with Ukraine and Russia. Crooked and grossly incompetent Joe Biden would not let Ukraine fight back. Crooked and grossly incompetent Joe Biden would not let Ukraine fight back, only defend. Yes, President Biden did not let Ukraine fight back. President Biden and his administration, they did not provide any serious weapon. We were talking about airplanes, with F-16, and they sent only 32 tanks, but they could send way more, thousands and thousands tanks. They could send airplanes, but they sent only few, like 4 or 5 airplanes, old, from 70s, and it's also wasn't helping enough. And the most important, it was really restricted for Ukrainians to use American weapon to attack Russian territory. They only could use this American weapon to use on Ukrainian territory, so they could not really attack and they could not fight back against Russian invasion. And President Trump, first time talking about this, we knew what it was happening, and we know who was creator of this policy. It was Burns, CIA chief, and it was National Security Advisor, to remember his name. Okay, so what's next? President Trump says, how did that work out? We know how it worked out. Regardless, with a war would have never happened if I were president. Zero chance. Yes, I guess so. He is right. Also, the last sentence in his post is the most important and most interesting. He says, interesting times ahead. Interesting times ahead. That means President Trump hints what is going to be some changes in United States policy regarding this situation in Ukraine. Because I think this is way deeper than people think. Because it looks like President Trump don't trust Putin anymore. And President Trump just wanted to make sure that Putin doesn't want peace and doesn't want any efforts towards peace. And that's why President Trump is saying what's interesting times ahead. It means it's going to be changes in policy, and the United States start to supply a lot of weapons to Ukraine, and it's going to be serious weapon, and this is what Ukraine expect. And this is result of summits. This is what's happened. Because you know today Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov, he was talking disgusting. He actually said what Putin not gonna meet with Zelensky because he is expired president and stuff like this, you know. So Rudberman, hi, give me your like and subscribe my channel, guys. Let's ask me your questions. Also today, you know, United States and European military advisors, we have talks in Europe about these guarantees, security guarantees for Ukraine, what was discussed on this summit in White House. And Reuters claims what United States possibly will provide no-fly zone over Ukraine. So United States Army will defend Ukrainian sky, so Russian airplanes and Russian missiles were not going to be able to get into Ukrainian air. And this is huge. This is huge, 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 huge. So, and also, this is maybe a big escalation because it looks like Putin doesn't want to stop the war. We see it, we all see it. And yeah, President Trump said what United States will not send out troops to Ukraine, but maybe United States will present in Ukrainian air or somewhere around, like in Romania or Poland, and it's also going to be a big win. It's also going to help Ukrainians to fight better. And of course, United States will provide some missiles, ballistic missiles, which can fight like 1,000 mile inside Russian territory, and President Trump will give permission to use it against Russia to show what Putin cannot act like this, because you know what he did, it's awful. This is what's happening in the world. Guys, ask your questions. Guys, ask your questions. And you know, President Trump also posted a picture where Russian Soviet President Khrushchev, and he was visiting United States in in 60s, and he was talking with President Nixon, I guess, and Nixon put his finger to Khrushchev. The same President Trump did with Putin. So this is what's happening. Also, another thing today, you know, European political leaders were relaxing after these summits and after all this stuff. But President Trump made next show today. He went to Washington, D.C. streets together with law enforcement officers. He brought pizza and stuff, and he was patrolling streets together with officers. And it's really, you know, of course it looks weird and it's part of show, but it works. But it works. So he prefers to stay active everywhere. Cool Cash Gaming, hello. Hi, how are you doing? Call of Duty, dude. Hi, hi. Guys, give me your likes and subscribe my channel. Let's talk and ask your questions, because we don't have a lot of political events happening. Let's discuss what we have. Call of Duty. What's up, bro? What's up? Sitting talking with you guys. Late night talks. It's 1 of morning in Los Angeles. Where are you from, guys? And what time is where? It's not too late. So, guys, ask your questions. Say hi, 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 hi. B. Okay, so let's discuss more. What's President Trump says, because he is, only source of information. My Mexican. You in Mexico? Cool Cash Gaming. Are you in Mexico or are you in United States? In Mexico, it's almost same time, I guess, like here in Los Angeles. 1 of morning. Yes, and also big thing happens. I'm from Los Angeles, Call of Duty. I live in Los Angeles, but I'm originally from Miami. My wife is here, that's why I'm here. We moved here like on COVID starts. I guess your accent, nice. Yeah. So another thing happened today. Так. Another thing happened today. It's with court decision, appeals court decided about this $550 million penalty for this fraud how we was talking, and it means President Trump win again, and it's not first court he is winning, and he is really successful. It's 6 or 7 courts he already won, right? I don't know, but like for me, it during election campaign, it was a whole, how he say, witch hunt, but it has a proper term. It's political persecution. It's the same what Putin does with their opposition in Russia, and so many cases and criminal cases against candidate. He wasn't president and he was fighting, and now is with consequences what's happening. But I'm thinking why we were doing stuff like this before election, because we knew if he wins election, we have to stop all these cases, and if he loses elections, he have to stop all these cases, because we're not going to be necessary anymore. And this is really a big win, and he wrote 2 posts about the situation, and he named all people who was involved at this situation, which is also important. And I hope he will not persecute these people, because our democracy is working like this. We're supposed to fight with words, not with administrative power or criminal stuff like Democrats do, because it's our tradition. And with Democrats, we were really scared of Trump, and they didn't want he become president, as we know. So that's why all stuff like this happening. But live in Canada now. Cool Cash. So you in Canada, here in our part of Canada, you have the same time like me. Guys, ask your questions. Ask your questions and give me your likes. Let's talk. Let's talk. It's not supposed to be boring here. We have to talk a lot of stuff. Ask me questions, I can tell you a lot of stories. I was talking today about this Japanese nuclear program during World War II. This is, I think, situation analogy with situation what we have, because we have some underground, undercover political process what's happening, and this war in Ukraine is only one a single example of this process. Anna, what is Russian people view on Trump? What do you mean? What Russian people view on Trump? How Trump related to Russian people? Russian people have Putin. I know the truth. Kenneth Mackenzie, hi. How are you doing? Give me your like, Kenneth. I remember you. How are you doing? So, and I was talking about these nuclear programs again because I was thinking it's important to better understanding why and what's happening in the world. Now, the same process, we have this, axis like it was. It was Berlin, Rome, Tokyo, and Moscow. Now it's Moscow, Beijing, and Iran with Tehran. This is new axis. Oh, no, I'm not from Kazakhstan. I'm from Los Angeles. Kazakhstan, no. Kazakhstan is people from Kazakhstan were Asian people. You can see. Am I look Asian? I look. You see how I look? Hi Moses. Hi. Give me your like and subscribe my channel. So we're talking about world situation and why China is so dangerous now. And President Trump, he is really trying to do something because he knows what China stands behind Russia, and China stands behind Russian aggression against Ukraine, and this is the purpose of Russia. Russia is supposed to keep Europe in tension, while China gonna do their stuff in Asia about Taiwan and maybe our countries. So now with India, China, and Russia, with this allies and with this alliance against Western countries, against us, and it's huge danger, huge threat for us, and this is what we're looking for. And that's why we see Putin doesn't want to stop the war. He is laughing on us. He's playing games. President Trump doesn't look good in this situation. And of course, he is going to respond. I was reading this post. He said, it's interesting time is waiting. Yeah, we wait for interesting time soon. Hey Moses, how are you doing? Guys, ask me your questions. Tell me something. You tell me something. And let's discuss. Kenneth, last night you told me a lot. Let's talk today too. Or I'm too late today, you know. I was busy before. I could not come earlier. So no more questions, guys. Okay, then let's go sleep. It's really late already, right? Thank you for coming to me. Tomorrow we're going. Oh no, we have question. How could we stop this as citizens? Do you think just voting and protesting is enough? Voting and protesting, and how else we can stop something? If we don't like something, we have elections. We have election on different levels. If we don't like something president does, we have to vote for another candidate. And if majority of people vote for somebody we don't like, we have to accept it because it's democracy, and we have to wait for next elections. This is how democracy works. And we have free elections here, thank God, because not many countries have free election. And it works. We know how it works here because you know how President Trump won this election. Nobody expected, and everyone was scared it happened, and it's happened. And there was a lot of stuff happening before election with Democrats. We did anything and everything to stop President Trump from presidency, and we couldn't stop. All media except one or two channels, we were against President Trump. It was huge witch hunt everywhere in the United States against President Trump, and he still won this election. So that means democracy is working here at this country, and this is very important. This is our main value, our constitution, our election. And if we don't like our president or we don't like somebody else, we have to accept uh, how people vote. If majority decided like this, it means we're supposed to accept it. Or it's gonna be civil war. Civil war, we can see it in many countries in the world when we're starting the war if we not agree with elections. We don't want nothing like this, so it's only choice to accept it. Okay guys, so let me go. Tomorrow we're gonna talk more. I guess I'm gonna tell you some interesting stories again, because today, you know, very slow and everyone tired and it's late night. So good night everyone, and thank you coming to me. I really glad to see you here, and I see many people come to me every evening, and it's really nice. Thank you very much. Have a good night.